Greetings, my friends. Please consider supporting me in my war to save pop culture by subscribing to my channel and possibly even becoming a channel member for exclusive videos, access to Doomcock emojis, and more. And if you like this video in particular, please consider using the new Super Thanks feature and putting a tip in the tip jar located next to the like buttons down at the bottom of the video. Thank you for watching, and now, on to the video. Greetings, my friends. I am Dictor Van Doomcock, the future ruler of Earth, broadcasting from my hidden base at the center of the Earth. And today I bring you a very interesting rumor regarding the real reason why Marvel delayed Blade, along with a number of other releases. The most interesting part of this rumor is what it says about how desperate Disney is feeling these days, their real attitude internally regarding how Marvel and Star Wars are doing under their stewardship, and what this says about the future of Marvel at Disney.
I'm kind of surprised that Marvel even has a future at Disney, given that Disney has delivered more bombs lately than Acme in the Roadrunner cartoons. Shit, man. She-Hulk, Hawkeye, Eternals, Ms. Marvel, Thor, Largely Blunder, Lightyear, Turning Red, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Book of Boba Fett. Looking around the smoking rubble, man, you have to wonder, is this Disney or Dresden?
I know how you feel, Harvey, and I share your skepticism. Disney seems to have forgotten how to make entertainment entertaining. Now, for the most part, the word entertainment is uttered at Disney only with the kind of hipster irony normally uttered over soy lattes by they-thems with purple braided goatees, participation trophies, and no talent. Now, what I'm about to tell you is information provided to me by one of my friends and sources, WDWPro, who hails from over at thatparkplace.com, and while he has a great track record with this kind of info in the past, since I cannot personally verify this information, I must present it as rumor, and I ask you to please take it with a grain of salt. This is what I was told, quote, "According to my sources, Marvel's delay of Blade was necessary due to the now public issues heading for the production. However, the delay was also an opportunity to delay other properties that needed more time due to contractual issues and without having to provide any other reason beyond a reshuffling. I received this several days ago, and this is what I was told. I am told the Disney partners in merchandising have all been given notice that X-Men is the next big thing for the MCU. Teams of researchers, focus groups, etc. are all determining how the X-Men should be reshaped for this new era, i.e., does Wolverine smoke? Does Gambit? How do other characters' vices or orientations come into play with audiences?"
Given that I am reduced to being a severed head in a bubble of entropy, I'm obviously not a marketing genius, or I certainly would have avoided this fate with a PR campaign that would have sent people into the streets against you with torches and pitchforks, Doomcock. But even so, I have a radical marketing concept for Disney. How about you don't reshape the fucking X-Men? How about that, you geniuses? How about you leave the X-Men alone, present them like Stan Lee did back in the day, or even the way Sony did in their string of successful movies, and instead of worrying which character smokes or who should be turned gay, maybe you should worry more about making a fucking X-Men movie that doesn't stink. A good script with no wokeness and no agenda other than entertaining the audience. In short, giving fans what they want. Ta-da! You're welcome, Disney. That'll be $2 million for my consulting fee. I hate to say it, but Skull of Calderon is completely correct in this instance. The idiots at Disney are conducting focus groups to try and figure out how not to fuck up the X-Men. Well, the Skull just told you. Leave the X-Men alone and hire a great writer. Easy peasy. Job done.
And yet, Disney is almost certainly going to fuck it up. They'll make Wolverine gay with a fetish for bald-headed guys in wheelchairs. The X-Men will fight a guy named Donald Trump. The men will prove to be failures, and girl power will save the day. At least, that's how things have been lately at Disney, but according to this rumor, desperation at Disney has caused a shift in the wind. My source continues, quote, "Marvel knows that audience participation is down. That's the key stat to know about. It doesn't matter if they have equal or higher revenues during a time of heavy inflation. It matters if people are going to Marvel movies and if they're buying Marvel merchandise. The answer to both of those, according to multiple sources, is that they are diminishing. That's not even to touch on the situation with Disney Plus MCU live-action problems. So Feige finds himself in a new place. The X-Men will not simply be put out into the market under the direction of himself and his directors and writers. They're getting focus grouped. This is an all-hands-on-deck situation to repopularize the MCU. Disney and Bob Chapek do not want Marvel becoming Star Wars, a franchise that is theatrically dead and commercially no longer evergreen, unquote.
Oh, well now. So, is this an admission that Star Wars has been severely damaged under Kennedy? No longer evergreen is code for no one gives a shit about Star Wars anymore. It means Star Wars under Kathleen Kennedy is past its expiration date, much like Kathleen Kennedy herself.
Hey, this is stuff that every real fan knows. Under Kennedy's direction, even with the heroic resuscitation attempts by Favreau and Filoni, it's going to take a miracle to get Star Wars' heart beating again. We all know that. Star Wars is at its lowest level of popularity since 1977 when it all started. And they're scared that under Feige, with all the wokeness, identity politics, and intersectional feminism, Marvel is heading towards that same terrible irrelevance at the speed of Thor's flying hammer coated in Crisco. Blade has been delayed, according to this rumor, because Disney is scared of getting it wrong again. And so Chapek is moving to focus groups to see, hey, what does the public really want from an X-Men movie? Because he no longer trusts Feige to tell him. Well, Disney, I can tell you right off the bat, you want to succeed? Start by leaving their name alone. Let them be the X-Men, because nobody wants to fucking go see the X-them or the X-they, and let Wolverine smoke, for fuck's sake. But there's a lot more to this, folks. The rumor continues, quote, the delay in some of these films, especially Secret Wars, is convenient for Marvel and Disney because it buys them time on the research side, but also in acquiring the talent they want. I am told that they desired the Hugh Jackman announcement for D23, but were unable to finalize details in time. There are other big actors I'm told are related to X-Men that they don't have yet, and they want to acquire prior to the script. Specifically, I do not believe they have Halle Berry signed on yet to reprise Storm, and multiple sources tell me they're working on that at this time. They also want Famke Janssen because they want Dark Phoenix to be a plot device in the multiverse. Finally, I am told that they may already have Patrick Stewart signed on for multiple movies as Professor X, but they also want his likeness in the same way they have Mark Hamill and James Earl Jones' voice. You can imagine why they would want Stewart's version of Professor X for perpetuity.
Not really. I can't stand the sight of that piece of shit. Not after Star Trek Puke Hard. And Season 3 is only gonna make that disgrace worse.
I concur, Harvey Cthulhu, but we digress. WDWPro continues, quote, remember what the lesson was from Solo, for right or wrong? Audiences want to see the original actors playing the characters they're known for. That was the Kathleen Kennedy takeaway. But Marvel has hit a snag in acquiring everyone they need for the multiverse saga. Getting Hugh Jackman was a big deal. Getting Andrew Garfield, which I'm told is basically done, is a big deal. Getting this next wave of Marvel heroes to successfully launch is a two-decade impact, and Phase 4 was essentially a failure at creating any momentum. Marvel has had to exact a requirement that some retailers take Phase 4 merchandise bundled with Avengers merch because otherwise the retailers won't sell the C-tier character towels, mugs, action figures, etc. Anyway, that's what I'm hearing from my sources around Marvel and throughout other areas that work with Disney and Marvel. Some of these delays are not a reshuffling, but instead an opportunity to get contracts finalized for big names to bring back original actors where needed. It's at least nice to know that they recognize they have a problem behind closed doors. The Victoria Alonso strategies just haven't materialized in success. They can't get rid of She-Hulk, Ms. Marvel, and Moon Knight merchandise. They're ready to transition to actual moneymakers, and they're desperate to get it right, unquote. I want to thank WDWPro for this information, most of which is good news. Like an alcoholic, perhaps Disney has to hit rock bottom before they finally have their come home to Jesus moment and swear off the woke bottle. For my part, I doubt Disney has the will or the wisdom to save themselves. I bet they completely screw up X-Men no matter how many focus groups they have. But if this rumor is true, it's at least a step in the right direction and a sign that in the war on woke, slowly but surely, my friends, we are winning. From the center of the earth, this is Dictor Van Doomcock bidding you all, my friends, stay angry. Ha 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 ha